ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wednesday night edition of the SLATE, right here on youtube.com/MrWarrenHayes. That's right. It's Wednesday night. It's time to talk about professional wrestling once again. Why is my monitoring so shitty? There we go. That's better. It's time to talk about professional wrestling once again as we all gather for the biggest night of wrestling every week, the Wednesday Night Wars, NXT, and Dynamite, and they go like this, and we're all good, man. Okay, first of all, thank you all very much for joining me this evening. I really do appreciate it, and we're gonna have a good time. We always have a good time. Why am I praying? But I'm praying that we have a good time right now, and I don't know why I never do. Not never. But like I raised my hands. I was just sitting like this, and I had my hands here, and then I raised my hands, but without unlocking my fingers, and I was looking at myself, and I was like, that looked weird, just very strange. But hey, thank you everyone for joining us here this evening on this wild day in the world of wrestling. I mean, of course I'm going to be talking about a lot of stuff tomorrow night on the main podcast, youtube.com/MrWarrenHayes, the Mr. Warren Hayes Show. 9 p.m. Eastern is when it starts, when we record live right here. But so, I mean, Paul White, the Big Show, heading over to AEW. Then you had the PC recruits that were announced. Then New Japan is apparently working with Marty Scurll, and then Joey Ryan lost in court. I mean, there's a lot of shit going on. Today was a special day. I find there was so much stuff, but you know what? There's a lot of stuff happening tonight on our Wednesday evening. Might as well start talking about it. Oh, hi everyone. Welcome. DGMC, good to see you. Wrestling Plug-in, Pluggo. It's good to see you as well. Justin Firestein, good to see you as well. Injection 2K, hello. Welcome to the show. Thank you very much for being here, and everyone who's watching and not necessarily in the chat as well. Thomas Gories is here too. He wanted a shout out, and he got it. Who did we start with last week? Did we start with NXT or AEW? I don't remember. Look, I have my AEW stuff up on my screen right now. So we're going to start talking about Dynamite tonight. Again, stacked card that we have lined up. Mr. Fantastic coming in just when I'm saying stacked. Is that a suggestion, or is that a compliment? You tell me. Welcome, nonetheless, Mr. Fantastic. Let's go right ahead and start talking about tonight's wonderful proceedings in regards to Dynamite. There we go. Oh, we have a super chat. Excuse me, I was just pulling some stuff up. Pluggo left us a super chat. Thank you very much, Pluggo. He says, did Top Flight get signed today? I don't know. It could have been buried in the onslaught of news that happened today. There's a lot of stuff happening today. Maybe they did get signed today. And hello, Manny Santos, our man on the inside of WWE. Welcome to the show. So let's get to it. Tonight, we got a bunch of stuff happening. Second to last show before AEW Revolution, which is in 2 weeks. We are going to get Brian Cage and Ricky Starks versus the Varsity Blondes. That should be a fantastic showcase of Cage and Starks. It should be. I mean, it'll be a lot of fun, right? And clearly heading into the Revolution, into the go home show next week. Cage and Starks are probably gonna need some heat. But here's the thing: is that at the same time, on the same card, we also have Sting is out for revenge. I think every week is like Sting is doing something unrelated to wrestling. Like Sting is out for revenge. That's what's being announced. Now, if I'm Brian Cage and Ricky Starks, Team Taz, like at this point, I'm waiting for him, right? Why would Sting announce that he's out for revenge? You know, maybe you sort of keep that to yourself and then you surprise your opponents, right? Right? Like, why do you run it? That being said, you know what happened last week? And it was a stacked show last Thursday. I didn't get a chance to properly talk about it, but Sting finally, getting physical, some physicality happening with Sting. He took a bump. He took a power bomb. I'm like, oh shit. Finally something happened, and that's good. Are we going to see more of that tonight? I expect to see Sting running with a bat, start swinging it. Where's Darby? Is Darby okay? I mean, I'm in storyline, I know like he's okay. I mean, in storyline, we'll see how things go on. Zach Barber, welcome to the chat. Good to see you. So that's the thing. So Brian Cage, Ricky Starks, Sting is out for revenge. I think I kind of all know how all of this is gonna fix and you sort of combine. Like when you it's like cereal and milk, right? You combine the milk with the cereal, and you don't combine the cereal with the milk. Okay? Apparently this is a thing now. There's people who are taking a stand on this. That you can pour yourself a bowl of milk and then add the cereal. I'm like, what psychopath does that? You're completely missing the point. Completely missing the point. Jesus. Yeah. So, okay. I don't remember. Why were we talking? Look, I think I'm done talking about Sting and Team Taz for now. Pluggo left us a super chat again. Thank you very much. Says, tonight, ATIMG writes a strongly worded letter. Yeah, that's what he did. Next week, Sting buys coffee for everyone backstage. And then the week after that, Sting wears a hat. I think, you know what? I kind of have an idea. We'll talk about it another time. But thank you very much again for the super chat. Plug, I want to say hello to Tom Collahue. Good to see you. Robert Sterling as well. Hello. And Evan Wright. Good to see you very, very much. Let's see. Who else do we have on the card? Jon Moxley versus the Hollywood hunk, Ryan Nemeth. Ryan Nemeth is obviously going to destroy Jon Moxley's career again tonight. Probably going to get too much offense in. Probably going to go too long again. I mean, Jon Moxley's career is already destroyed. Who else is on the list? Kenny Omega, his career's been destroyed twice. Adam Page. Who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting someone else. There's someone else whose career is destroyed as well. So, I mean, rest in peace, indeed. Too bad. They're probably, Moxley's gonna have to put up with too much offense from Ryan Nemeth. So, what are you gonna do? Jericho and MJF. Thank you, Evan. You're paying. Yeah, I can always count on you. Evan is holding the journal of everyone's careers that AEW has destroyed systematically every week on Dynamite. So yes, absolutely. So we're gonna just keep going. I mean, here's the thing. Here's the cool thing, right? Is that Jon Moxley losing to Ryan Nemeth tonight, winning to whatever, whether he wins or loses, we know his career is gonna die. He, as well as Kenny Omega, is going to be a two-time career killed man. 2 times. So you have, indeed, on one end, just like Kenny Omega. So again, they have something else that they need to one-up each other on. Fantastic stuff. DGMC left us a super chat. Thank you very much. Says Mox versus Ryan Nemeth, 9 years in the making. Scratch that, 10 years in the making. Because of that interview, right? Like a young, dark-haired Ryan Nemeth interviewed Jon Moxley, if I'm not mistaken, right? If I'm not mistaken, that's pretty cool. It is. Do you think they'll bring it up? Oh, they won't have time to bring it up during the murder of Jon Moxley's career. Jake Hager versus Brandon Cutler is going to be a thing. Nicely, very simply set up last week when Cutler was trying to help out the Young Bucks. Yeah, and Hager sort of shoved him aside. So a little warm-up match for our man, for the former Swaggeroony, Jake Hager. Okay, I mean, sure. Okay, that'll be something that's going to happen. We're going to have a sit-down interview with Tony Schiavone versus
Oh, yeah.
a sit-down interview. Tony Schiavone is going to talk to Kip Sabian, Penelope Ford, and Miro. Probably going to get the pulse out of the situation, out of the big ratings draw that was the wedding a couple of weeks ago. They probably want to milk that one a little more. Yeah, I mean, I think that the feud with Chucky T and Orange, they should continue to push it. They should continue to develop it. So that's cool. We'll see what happens tonight. We're also going to have Hangman Page versus Isaiah Cassidy, which is going to be fine. I mean, you know, it's going to be a warm-up match, continuing the feud with. I'm going to tell you, I'm not crazy about how the whole Hangman and Matt Hardy stuff has been set up. It's stretching my suspension of disbelief. There we go. It's stretching my suspension of disbelief a little too much. I'm at a point where I'm like, you know, the whole contract stuff, and you signed this contract, but then this contract. Oh, but you never got a copy back, and then the guy who has Adam's contract, who's in the Jaguar suit, is Isaiah Cassidy, and you know, look. I'm on the record. I said it. I'm not crazy about the Page Matt Hardy feud. I don't think it's a good feud for Page. But the little breadcrumbs that they've been continuing to drop with Hangman and the Dark Order, though, I think is very, very, very interesting. And that to me is currently the most interesting part of the feud. So I'm excited to see where this is going to go. Because of that part there. But I mean, this should be a fine match, and it shouldn't be a problem at all. The Women's World Championship Eliminator Tournament. They're going to give us an update, but I think it's an update that we already know. Well, first and foremost, we're having second round action of the tournament. Dr. Britt Baker versus Nyla Rose. We've seen this match before, but not really in this context. And not with Britt being such a strong heel. As Evan Wright left in a super chat. Thank you very much, Evan, by the way. It says, I'm excited for the Britt-Nyla Rose dynamic. Indeed, because what's really interesting here is the fact that Britt is the top heel in the women's division. Hell, one of the top heels in the company right now. So it will be very interesting to see how all this works out. She's not the plucky baby face, you know, who will stand up to the challenge of, you know, huge, intimidating, invincible Nyla Rose. I still think Britt is going to win. I'm make good here. This is what AEW has to do. This is the time. It's the moment. They have to make this happen. They need to pull the trigger on the Britt Baker World Championship tour. This is where they have to. This is the opportune time. She is so incredibly hot and over right now. And I don't think anyone touches her as far as being over in the company. Maybe Thunder Rosa. Maybe. But I think Britt is even more over. She hasn't been this good in the ring since she started in AEW. This is the moment where you pull the trigger on it. And she beats Nyla. She moves on. Who'll be the next one then? I don't remember. But anyway, she makes it to the finals. They just need to pull the trigger on it. This is what's happening. But the update, they're also going to provide us with an update. And I think we already got the update. It's like everything that they're going to do with the women's tournament. Because tonight we're getting Nyla Rose versus Britt Baker. Then they're doing the thing on Bleacher Report on Sunday where we're going to have Thunder Rosa versus Riho and Yuka Sakazaki versus Ryu Mizunami, which is going to be the finals. And they're also doing a trios match, right? They're doing Team Shida versus let's just call it Team Maki. Isn't Maki Ito on the heel? Who's on the heel side? I think there's Emi. I don't remember. Emi, Maki, and Segura, right? Isn't it those three? But there's going to be a trailer. Anyway, and then next Monday back on YouTube, we're doing Thunder Rosa and, we're doing the next... next Monday, we're doing the next round, which technically should be... If my predictions work out, we should be seeing Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker, and then next Wednesday, they're doing the USA winner versus Japan winner in a tournament final, and then the tournament final versus Hikaru Shida is going to be at Revolution. Thank you, Evan. The teams on the trios are Maki Ito, Emi Sakura, and Veni. Yes, that's who I had forgotten, and I just want more Veni. That's absolutely fine. Versus Hikaru Shida, Mei Segura, and Rin. And it's weird that they're going to be on Shida's side, right? Because didn't they they were heels? They were with Emi. Anyway, it's Japan. It doesn't matter, really. They're all just going to beat the shit out of each other regardless. So that should be fun. So that's probably the update that they're going to give us. They're going to lay out everything that they're going to do with the women's tournament moving forward. And finally, Paul White is going to give us more information on AEW Dark Elevation, which is going to be the new YouTube show that they're going to be starting on Mondays. So I'm really interested to see how that is going to break up, how they're going to break that up with Dark. And is Dark becoming that infamous third hour of AEW programming that they're going to put on TNT? Because they said Evolution is going to be like the showcase of new talent, but isn't that what showcase of new talent and some established faces? But I'm like, well, that's Dark. So I'm curious to see what this is all going to be like, but I'm happy for Paul White, for the Giant, for the Big Show, whatever you want to call him, for finding something to continue and be stimulated with, right? Continue to be something interesting for him to move forward, and feel like he's still contributing to the business. Couldn't be happier for the guy. Main event of the evening is probably going to be Rey Fenix versus the Murder Hawk Monster Lance Archer, who will face this is a qualifier for the Revolution ladder match that's going to happen at Revolution. I think Rey Fenix should be in a ladder match at Revolution. Guys, what do you think? Why have a ladder match and not put Rey Fenix on it? I think this is going to be the main event tonight. It should be absolutely wild. I would say that they're going to start Dynamite with Cajun Starts versus the Varsity Blondes. I think that's a good Dynamite opener. I think it should be fun. There we go. Let's start talking about NXT. WWE tonight has a full preview as opposed to Monday Monday when I did the Raw preview, we only had, hey, Miz is going to do Miz TV tonight. That was it. I was like, okay, thank you for the content, WWE. And thank you, AEW, for putting on more shows on Monday nights. Then, I'll at least have your stuff to talk about guaranteed every week. The big attraction tonight is Santos Escobar, who is finally going to be facing Karrion Kross in a no disqualification match. The NXT Cruiserweight Champion will face Karrion Kross in a no disqualification non-title match this Wednesday tonight, and it's on NXT. The strife that initially stemmed from Escobar maligning Kross's snake-bitten NXT Championship reign has grown more hostile each week as Kross and Scarlett stalk their next target. Look, I've said this, and I'm sticking by my guns. I am 100% okay with WWE taking their time with Karrion Kross, NXT taking their time with him, having him beat other guys on the roster, and then eventually build him into this unstoppable threat for the NXT Championship, kind of like what they did with Bobby Lashley on Raw. Of course, you can definitely argue that Santos Escobar is an NXT champion, and it's kind of weird that we're going to jabroni out one of our champions, and that is a credible bit of commentary. But I'm still interested to see how this is going to go down. And it's just, have these two ever fought in Lucha Underground? Have they ever? Because I'd be curious. Because this is not a match that will suck. It's just the implications and the overarching everything that you're like, that make you question something. But this should be good. It should be fun. Adam Cole vows to explain himself on this Wednesday on NXT. Oh, by the way, Bruce, Benoit, welcome to the chat. Good to see you. But yes, Adam Cole tonight vows to explain himself. For the second time in 4 days, Adam Cole shocked the system. Now he plans to offer an explanation. Cole's stunning few days began with super kicks to NXT champion Finn Balor and former Undisputed Era stablemate Calorale at NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day, shaking the black and gold brand to its core. Cole erased any doubt where he stood last Wednesday, decimating O'Reilly with a vicious suplex on the steel steps. O'Reilly, who was stretched out of the Capitol Wrestling Center, suffered a neck injury and is not medically cleared per the NXT injury report. And don't forget, folks, the NXT injury report. There's always some storyline, some work in it. The NXT universe is anxiously awaited word from Adam Cole on his heinous betrayal, and this Wednesday will find blah blah blah. So, yes, this is good. This is interesting. Apparently, Adam Cole was saying, there's more to this. He had tweeted this out. There's more to this situation than just why, Adam, why. So I'm very, very interested to find out what his motivations here are. But it seems to me they're pretty clear. He was sick of Kyle O'Reilly trying to cozy up to someone else, and Adam Cole wants to be champ again. I think this story kind of writes itself. I'm okay with Adam Cole getting some promo time. Don't get me wrong. NXT Women's Champion Io Shirai takes on Zoe Stark in a non-title contest. Zoe Stark turned an eye-grabbing performance in her NXT debut, and William Regal took notice. The NXT general manager is rewarding Stark with a 9-title bout against NXT Women's Champion Io Shirai tonight on NXT, wouldn't you say? So yeah, I mean, I have to agree with the initial assessment here that the woman that was formerly known as Lacey Ryan did have a very, very strong debut last week on NXT. And well, are we getting a little ahead of ourselves and putting her in big matches with Io? Maybe not. But you, as someone who's coming up, right? fresh face out of the PC is what I'm trying to say. You put her in a match with Io Shirai, she's going to be in good hands, and Io will probably be able to get a really good match out of her. Of course, unless it's like a 5-minute thing, but I don't think NXT is going to be killing any careers. I think Io's career is safe. Io tonight with Zoe Stark should be, if anything, a good prelude to what we might get down the road from these two. Putting people like Lacey, Zoe into matches with the likes of Io Shirai, who is so incredibly talented and good at what she does, a ring general. There's nothing but good stuff that can come out of it. Nothing but good stuff. So I would be very keen on watching this one. This should be a lot of fun. Johnny Gargano is going to clash with Dexter Lumis in a non-title match because Dexter Lumis had kidnapped Austin Theory. So, I mean, I still think Kushida should have won the North American title. And this is what I just want to point out. I just want to underscore this. The title in itself should be more than enough reason for these two to feud. But, if Dexter Lumis just wants to kidnap Johnny Gargano's friend and then have a feud with Johnny Gargano, that still works. We don't need the title in the equation. And, Dexter Lumis comes across as, a psychopath. So the question is, we never really feel like that guy needs a belt. Why are we feuding for the belt? But we're also feuding but we're mostly feuding. We're not really feuding for the belt. We're mostly feuding for the fact that one of Johnny Gargano's friends got kidnapped. That's what. So Kushida should have won the North American title is what I'm saying. It wouldn't have changed a thing to this feud is what I'm saying. And you would have given Kushida a boost, and you could have had him fighting other fantastic people challenging for the title. We'll see how this goes, but this is a non-title match. I think you know how this story goes. It's WWE after all. Casey Catanzaro is going to square off with Xia Li. Hopefully Xia Li has her mask on. Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! I like the new Xia Li gimmick. It's very Mortal Kombat-ish before they brought the movie on, and I like it. I think as far as repackaging someone, giving her an oomph, something mysterious, I like it. I can get behind it. Much more than Casey Catanzaro hanging out with her friends. Technically speaking, Xia Li should beat the shit out of her. That should be how it goes. And we also are going to have the Grizzled Young Veterans against Killian Dane and Drake Maverick. The Grizzled Young Veterans are likely unhappy after coming up short in the Dusty Classic finals. They'll look to channel their aggression against Killian Dane and Drake Maverick this week on NXT. Gibson and Drake returned to the tournament finals for a second straight year, though they could not overcome MSK and NXT Tournament Engines Day after a scintillating back and forth encounter. Dane and Drake ran into the same buzzsaw last month, falling to MSK in the quarterfinal. So, if there's any justice in this world, they are going to continue pushing the Grizzled Young Veterans. They're not going to just let their performance at Vengeance Day fizzle out. They're going to continue to establish them as a very competent, strong tag team. We need to put respect on Zach Gibson's name in 2021. Shoes off if you hate Gibson, folks. But if you love wrestling, it is the perfect night to tune in and watch pick your poison and enjoy it. And while you're watching it and enjoying it, head on over to the MrWarrenHayes Discord. Come and join me and the rest of the crew as we watch live NXT, AEW, whatever you prefer. Come on in. The link is in the description. And otherwise, I will see you tomorrow evening, 9 p.m. Eastern for the MrWarrenHayes Show live recording. Thanks, everyone. Have a great evening. Thank you for coming.